Hi, this is Crystal from Guama, and our David is here with us. And today I'm very excited because there's one more person joining. Who is it, David?
Hey, Crystal, how are you? Yeah, we're pretty excited because we have Jean from Philippines. She's gonna guide us on what's going on gamification in games
Wow, I
and
can't
GCash
wait.
mainly. Like GCash is this big app that like everybody's talking about. But I mean, Jean is gonna be like is the expert, so she's gonna guide us on what's going on there. Are you excited about it, Crystal?
Very excited. I can't wait.
All right, let's bring Jean. Hello, Jean. How are you?
Hey, Crystal. Hey, David. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks. How is the weather? Kind of hot?
Uh, it's very humid here now, and pretty hot, just because we've entered the summer period.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Nice, nice.
How about you
All right.
guys?
So the idea here is to let people understand what's going on gamification, mainly in Gcash and in Philippines. Like
Yes.
we're with Goama, we're doing a lot of things all around the world. So right now we're gonna be focusing on your region and mainly with your main client, which is Gcash. Can you tell us a little more? Like what's going on there? How many like how many like platforms do we have inside Gcash? How long we've been like, interacting with them. Let us know all the details on the gamification, starting with who are you and what you do in Guam.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do like a short intro of myself. So I'm Jean. So I'm leading the team in Philippines. Still very small team. Hopefully,
But very
next
powerful.
time, next time we could add my girl here. So basically for me, I'm doing a lot of strategy and also a lot of growth hacking, and then of course I have my team girl with me, Dana, who does the setup and working with the tournament side to put up the games, and then to just really make things happen, right? So um
So
now
there's
I guess for Philippines it's gonna be quite fun, David, because we are raking in good revenue stream, simply even just on Gcash alone.
yeah.
And it's always a good thing because our partnership with Gcash is like it's very versatile, so we could like run along with whatever creative ideas that we have. We're not really restricted by, oh, the client wants this, client wants that. So we do have free reign on how we organize things and how we set up games or how we choose them.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, it's really how much money are we bringing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's always a result driven kind of relationship at the end of the day, but you are free to do what you want to do. And I think
So
that's the
for the,
beautiful part of working with Gcash.
yeah, totally. So for the people that's like jumping into the video and try to understand what's going on here, we are Goama. We are Goama, a company that develops all the gamification tools and games that we provide for our clients. And today we're going to be speaking about Goama and Gcash. What are we doing right now? What's going on? What people can find in Gcash. It makes it special about the gamification. Like if you go to Gcash and download the app, where do you find the games?
Yeah, so everybody would have Gcash here in the Philippines, right? I mean, even like the OFW workers, I mean, like OFWs around the globe, they would have a Gcash. So when you go into Gcash, you've logged in, just go to G Live. So it's normally it is the button like all the way to the left. Well, we'll have it later um, on screen. But yeah, so you have that, and then you go into G Live, and then just in G Live, you'll have various categories. So go to play section, and when you go to the play section, you'll see like A plus games and Goama games there. So we have two gaming platform on there. you'd see that it would look different, but you would see the common thing. You'll see our logo once you come into the platform individually. So yeah, um, I think for Philippines, David, since we don't really have like a real setup here in the Philippines right now in terms of being registered in Philippines and stuff like that. Although we are registered in Singapore, right? Our presence here is very digital, and we really do take credibility front with GCash. And so, as you know, GCash is a trusted partner for payments and stuff like that. So there's always a question of legitimacy. So just to put it out there, we're not gonna be able to say that we're legitimate, right? um, without having proof. I mean, we are with GCash, and GCash is a very strong proof that we are legitimate in terms of
Exactly.
prizes being distributed, people playing in it, and actually getting the prizes themselves.
Hmm.
Um, then because there's always a lot of fear, David, in terms of the player earn um, um, arena in Philippines. There's always the fear of, okay, I put in my money, I win something, like, do I get it, right? So for Guama, we always pride ourselves in fulfilling prizes, following at least the terms, like at least the terms and conditions. Like we normally fulfill 5 to 7 working days, but we have been working with GCash to making sure that we try to do it in real time as possible. There are just major delays at some point in times, just because we were still doing manual disbursements of prizes, but in terms of prizes payout, David, I must say that the Filipino people and also anybody who's watching this, if you are playing and you are questioning whether you will get the prizes, you will. So just keep playing, and I think we'll have a lot of fun, and it is a good income revenue as well, and like extra
Cool.
income revenue just playing games.
Okay, so if we're like we're watching right now, like the screen. So why don't you show us, like why don't you guide us on what's here? What are we seeing right now? In this platform, if you go to Gcash G Live in the play section of Guama, you're gonna see the games. What are the main, like what is the main game that like the tournament that we have, and what are the prizes and what is people competing for? Because what we have here is that if you're watching this video, you can go to Gcash and play the games, but not only play the games, you can win amazing prizes. Every week there's new tournaments. Every week there's new prizes. There's a million of people navigating the app and also playing those games and engaging with those games. So what is it that people can find this week, for example? What's going on right now? What kind of games do we have, and what is the tournament?
So yeah, so just scrolling. So if you could see, so we stop at the play section now. So play section, you'd see a lot of different mini programs there. Specifically, we have A plus games and Guama games. So we just follow based on alphabetical. So just for A plus games, this is a collaboration that we have with Alipay. So of course, you do the daily login rewards. So each time you come into the platform, you'd be able to collect tickets.
Mhm.
So just think of it as arcade tickets. When you go to the mall, into the arcade, you'd be able to win tickets. So every day when you come in, you get to collect tickets, and that tickets gets, so, I mean, as you collect them, will always like have campaigns that um it would allow you to redeem something in time. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
like,
remember the arcade places where you like the machines were printing the tickets and you were getting this amount of tickets, and at the end of the day that you were playing, like you can redeem, you can exchange or redeem
oh
the
yeah,
tickets for a
that
prize,
is
right? I remember
exactly.
like I want this huge gun bar or like whatever,
Like
like
a
the
stuffed
most amazing
toy.
prizes, yes, the toys that you have there. Or you can accumulate the tickets and you're taking home a complete month or 2 or 3 months, and then you can get the big prize or something like that. So that's working. Like, what is one of the big prizes that we have right now in Gcash?
Well, for now, for Alipay, our largest prize pool is about 100,000 peso.
$100,000. Yeah.
Yeah, so that runs for like 30, well, 30 days or 31 days, depending on the number of months.
And how much
And
you have to pay for being able to participate? Like to compete for the $100,000.
yeah, so you'd pay like 100 peso for 31 days, and it's unlimited play for the month.
Okay.
And then you just rank up, and then you based on your skill, you would go up the ladder of rankings, and if you do win the top prize, then you'd I, I believe you'd have like um 10,000 peso, or sorry, 6,000 peso. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So because we reward up until rank 100, so you have to be the top 100.
Mhm.
So just to bring down, like rank one would be 6,000, and then the following like ranks would then be like say 6,000, 4,000 for rank 2 to 3, 4 to 10 you'd get 3,000, 11 to 20 is 2,000, and 21 to 30 1,000, and then 31 to 100 you have 500 peso. So it's like even if you just made it to the top 100, you've
Yeah.
already like earned times five of what you've put in.
Okay. That's
So yeah.
interesting. Krista, have you ever win something by playing games? Have you
Of
ever
course,
with the prize?
I
What
won
is
so many.
what is your favorite prize that you
My
have?
favorite. It was supposed to be a pouring plushie from Ragnarok Mobile Eternal Love, but they sent me a pouring umbrella. I still love it though, but I still prefer a plushie where I can hug. But an umbrella I can bring it out, so it's cute. Everybody is looking at my umbrella when I go out, so I'm cool.
I was just gonna say, Crystal, that the nostalgia of the arcade uh play would be like, the stuffed toy behind you.
Yes, I love
Exactly.
all stuffed toy.
Very cute.
Thank
Even
you.
the chair, like like we have been giving prizes in Latin America, mostly gaming chairs, like consoles, like PS5s, like stuff like that. Not, like we can, like in terms of when you give the prices on this gaming gamification strategies, you can use whatever, drive the players to, like to go there and pay, or just to go in there and play. Could be money, could be like a PS5, or like gaming chairs, or whatever the kids want, or like whatever the users want, because it depends on the ages, right? They can
Mm.
be, like begin young people, but also can be adults, women, men. It doesn't matter. All the ranges, like we have games for all the ranges of the, like in terms of demographic distribution, right? So, what is the most, like what can you tell us about the demographics on Gcash right now? Like, what are we registering more? Like men, women, young people, mid age.
Actually, it's a strong fight between male and female.
Okay.
Predominantly, we do have female, but it's not like a 70-30 versus male. It's like 55 female and 45 male. But
Okay.
just for the month of March, what I imagine would be we would have 60-65 female more, just because for the month of March we are giving out 500 peso Gcash
Hmm.
on Gloma Games platforms for the top female um, uh,
That's great.
what heroes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so we're
great.
awarding top five every week. So at the end of the month, we would have what 20, right? 25, 25 winners, female winners, that we will identify, and then we will disburse 500 peso each. Now on A plus games, they're given I think 300, so 300 to 500 peso just because of playing. So actually, as long as you keep playing and you keep coming in, you don't even need to like pay anything to win that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's beautiful. That's a way to help women, right? Like some
mm,
of them have to be like single moms or like you know people that like can be like spending time on really making money just by playing, right?
yeah, and that's what I want to like emphasize, David, because in Philippines, the income landscape here is it's not all like fantastic,
Mm.
so I mean, like personally, I would know like people who are still trying to make ends meet, like minimum wage salary workers, having to raise kids and stuff like that, so I go around. It's a good thing being here, being able to be interacting with the local, and of course with my fellow Filipinos. Like, I get to see why you know Guama and GCash are doing great things, for the Filipino community.
Mhm.
Um, uh, at first there will be fear, right? Because they would have to put in money. But if you put in like what I said just now, so you put in 100 peso for the whole month of playing, you can get 6,000 if you actually put up your skills, and it's not even random gambling type of games. It is skill based. So if you don't want to put in your money first, they could actually practice as long as they want, and maybe once they're really confident, then you can put in the money.
Right.
On a small scale, you don't even need to pay 100 peso one shot, David. Crystal, you could actually pay what, 10 peso, 5 peso. We do have multiple of lower price pools. And, as you go along, of course, the more confident you are, then you can participate in the higher price tournaments, right? So, little by little, these things do add up, and I do see people putting in 1,000 peso and getting 5,000 peso returns. So, I mean, sometimes they're only even putting like a few hundreds in a month, and they got it. Like the last year, hopefully this year we can get to organize something, David. We call it Heroes Tournament. So last year we ran a couple of Heroes Tournament, and we award the top winner to get 10,000 peso. So they just need to
Okay.
play as long as they want and garner as many tickets as they can in a month, and then we award the top heroes based on the leaderboard,
That's
right? And
cool.
we have very grateful people just because they spent less than 1,000 peso, and their winning is like 10. So normally we try to reward like five, five people. So that's already like what, 50,000 peso for the top prize, just for the top tier. And then
That's
we
interesting.
always give, hopefully, like normally like 100 winners or more. So
That's
yeah.
beautiful. Can we tell a little more about like how Goma and Gcash are like so have some numbers on performance? Like there's people in marketing here that are like they work in companies that are maybe interested and understand a little more about the conversions, like the funneling that we have. Because if you're in Gcash app and you're navigating for many reasons that you can be there, how many people are like the active users and then become like visitors in the platform and they become later active players and the pay players, like a little bit of the drill down on some numbers so they can understand a little bit,
Yeah.
like they say, okay, if I have 2 million active users, how many of them are going to become active players that can pay or just go around and play and make money, like the company can do money by the ads model where, like we can make money by the impressions, and we can share this, like the revenue share could be there. So how can we explain to the other companies that, like what we're doing with Gcash is beautiful in many ways, but also we can speak about, like revenue and KPIs that matter for the companies.
Yeah, well, really depends on the objective of each company, David, right? So, just because for our platforms on Gcash, we do focus on monetization and transactions. We do allow, or we do amplify or magnify efforts for branded exposure, for branded activation. So we have worked with people like Feed Panda Philippines, create games for them, and then have it activated in Gcash. So this is where they leverage on the Gcash users, and yeah, and then like reward them for just being able to play the branded game. And then normally they would give out vouchers, or they'd give out like prizes to the top winners. But of course, at the end of the day, yeah,
Is this a
so at
game,
the end
right?
of the day, exactly. So this is the most recent game that we've done for Feed Panda. This is Pow Run. um, and we have done I think about 6 games for Big Panda already, and they're mostly yeah, we've seen their bespoke games. And yeah, and when we put it out, people always go crazy. So we always get what, 10,000 players,
Wow.
sometimes even even like within the day. It's like, okay, we're hitting 5,000, 7,000.
That's
And
beautiful
sometimes 30,
numbers.
because our standard number, David, for Goama games, we're looking at 3 to 5,000 players per day,
Okay.
right? And then after that, for A plus games, we do have now I think 5 to 7,000 players per day. Um, then yeah, so for branded activation, I would say that what matters right now is, of course, how many people are coming in. So if to just give you a little bit more, play section in G Life is ranking in one of the top number of MAUs across all of the other platforms. So it would make sense if you want to target people in Gcash, um, it would be in play section. And of course, we do, our platform itself rakes in an average of what, 300 to 650,000 visitors a month on month,
That's
right?
that's a good
Yeah,
number. Yeah.
and it's always returning user. Well, of course, the new users would be taking the predominant number, David, just because when they see something new, they come in, and we always garner a ratio of um, what, 2:1, or a 3:2, depending. Yeah, two is
Okay.
to one on new versus returning. Yeah, so basically for every one user that comes in to play again, another two user actually, two new user come in to play. So
Okay.
probably they bring another friend or two.
That's interesting. Yeah, those are good numbers, good KPIs. Like the performance is doing great in Gcash, right? So
Yeah.
here's two different games that we did for Food Panda that we used. We have been using, like doing all this promoted content throughout Gcash, right? How these games performed, were they well received, right? They were, like those games were, like having a lot of active players and many brand impressions, right? Because we can. The good thing about this is that we can measure the brand exposure on millions
Yeah.
of minutes, right?
Yeah, actually, I mean, if you wanna go specific to Food Panda, we can. Um, I do have a little bit of numbers on that. Um, so, because when we ran the recent Pow Pow run, right? So it's actually running mostly on organic, just because um, it was at that point of time where uh, you know it I don't know, it just really fell on that number of weeks that we don't have paid activities on ads, no. So our brand exposure, just out of that 3 weeks, is as good as a 4-year brand exposure time.
All right.
So that's talking about 2.2 million of minutes of
Mhm.
people actually coming in, getting engaged, and having Feed Panda as top of mind when they're playing the game.
That's
So,
beautiful. That's the beauty of the games, right? You
mhm.
can reach, like a huge amount of brand exposure in minutes within just a month. Like you can take a lot. Like for example, if you wanna do the same with a video in YouTube or any other platform that you have to pay, you really have to pay a lot of money to get that amount of brand
Yeah,
exposure in minutes.
I know. But just for further, like, specific to Gcash alone, right? Just an example on our Guama Games platform. So when we do get, like, an average of 140,000 players there, and our gameplay is about 3.1 million. So when you do the math, it's actually like and people stay there. Our average time session, the lowest is about 10 minutes. It could go up to 15. So when you do the math, it's like 32.6 million, and that's equivalent to what, 62 years, and it's just for a month of
Yeah,
activation,
that's a
David.
lot. That's a lot. All right, Jean, this information has been super, super interesting. Thank you very much for joining us and explaining a little more what's going on with Guama and GCash into Philippines.
Yeah,
Thank you for helping women on like getting getting more income to a household with the
yeah,
prices, and that's beautiful. Like all your all the team, like all the team in Philippines, and the work that you've been doing is very interesting. And I know Gcash is very proud of you, working so hard for many time, like many months.
yeah. Look at
How long
our
has it
appreciation Gcash tumbler from them. Thank you, Gcash. We're doing great things together, David.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Jim, for joining us, and I'll see you next
Thanks,
occasion.
David.
All right.
Thanks, Crystal. See
Thank
you
you,
again.
See
Bye.
Jean.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right. That was Jean telling us about what's going on Gcash and all the gamification platform that we have there. There's more things coming over about the gamification world that we're doing and the games that we're developing. So keep it tuned, right, Crystal?
Yes.
Any other thing
Subscribe.
you wanna? Yeah, please
Yeah, just
subscribe to
subscribe.
the video, and I'll see you in the next video, right?
Yes. Bye
Thank you
bye,
very much.
DP. Thank you
Bye.
for being here.